Why does it feel fun to throw Cappy in Super Mario Odyssey? Let's have a look, shall we? You'll notice, as with any good 3D Mario game, that the controls are tight and responsive. That's called game feel. It's important to us as players to feel in control of a character on screen. The way he throws Cappy is quick, sleek, and reads clearly. You can see the action from any angle and understand what's going on, once your camera's in the right place. You feel like you still have control in more dramatic sequences where it can get hectic. So let's take a quick look, frame by frame, at what goes on. So the second you tap that button, Mario snaps back into this throwing position. 1 foot in the air, lots of forward momentum, getting ready to be released, and Cappy is nowhere to be seen. He then appears in Mario's hand. Mario steps forward as he begins to unwind this momentum. He spends 4 frames spinning on the spot until this point, where we see some visual effects in the form of an action line. This continues for a further 4 frames, with the action line following and accentuating this motion. After, Mario has let go of Cappy, his back leg counterweighting the release of this momentum, and Mario spends the next few frames letting his arms rest back to their idle position, with his feet catching up and the action line following through. This action is 30 frames long. That's half a second when viewed at 60 frames per second. When Mario catches Cappy, he snaps to this pose, with Mario in a sort of I caught the frisbee kind of pose, with Cappy dragging him back a bit. This allows Mario to use that energy to get back to his standing position, and as he does so, he rests Cappy back on his head in one smooth action, tightening the position when at the lowest point of the movement. And Cappy resides back within the cap, and then Mario's nose catches up with all the momentum. I do love those nose physics. This return action is 18 frames long. When you're in the air, a similar action happens, except the action lines don't appear in that first throw, and instead they follow Mario's arms when he spins for a second time, after Cappy has left his hand. I guess without the ground to stabilise his movement, he continues to spin, with the energy from the throw dwindling as he lets the momentum fade away. And when he catches in the air, the return momentum sends Mario back, still pulling Cappy down to fit on his head. These same actions happen while doing anything else, such as running, except you still have full control, and these follow-up actions happen whilst you're moving. Okay, so what about when it all gets a bit frantic? How soon do you regain control after a cap throw? Well, pretty much as soon as Cappy is in Mario's hands. You can see here, as soon as Mario is in that first frame of catching Cappy, he is able to send him flying again. You'll notice that Cappy's independent movement is instant. As soon as he is in his own first frame, away from Mario's hands, he is knocking the hat off this Koopa. Note the extra frame hold here as the enemy's hat is knocked off for a bit of extra attention. And additionally, if Cappy returns to Mario before he's finished his follow-up movement, then Mario will perform the return movement in whichever frame of action he's in. And furthermore, he's able to throw Cappy before he's finished his return movement. And then there's that real cool transference section. So if we play the sequence of events back in real time, snappy gameplay, good feedback, clear and concise movements, all within a couple of seconds. Game feel is really tight. You have such precision over your movement, being able to make decisions within mere frames. Hey, that's 3D Mario. So what else is going on within the throw? Well, if we take a glance at Cappy, once he leaves Mario's hand, there's some yellow action lines that follow Cappy's movement, almost leaving a trail. Once he reaches as far as he's allowed to go, he will spin on the spot for a short while. Notice how he enlarges slightly while spinning, probably to help you know when he's stopped in case you want to dive on him, and also to show the force in which he's spinning. Some fancy little stars that fling off for a bit of flair. Now, something really cool happens when Cappy spins. Let's look at it at full speed. Now, look at his eyes, and it looks like there's what you'd call a classic multiple smear. This is where, in traditional drawn animation, a fast action can be conveyed by crunching down the very fast movement to a single frame, sometimes resulting in multiple images of one thing. But if we slow this movement down frame by frame, we can see that Cappy rotates at a speed that nudges his eyes exactly in line with the next image. So when we go from this frame to this frame, his left eye has moved exactly to the place his right eye was in. And when this is played back at 60 frames per second, the movement is literally so quick that the action looks like a multiple. I mean, that's great. And as Cappy returns, he shrinks back down and returns to Mario in a matter of frames. something you'll notice is that actions snap from one frame to the next, like this. It can look jarring if you're looking at it like this, but during gameplay, you will not notice this. Removing transitioning frames, which is called fluidity in game animation terms, will increase player feedback. And this is important in this game. So, to me, this is why it's fun to throw Cappy in Mario Odyssey. It's quick, it's playful, it's responsive, and it's clear. Some stray thoughts before we sign off. You'll probably know there's actually a couple of ways to throw Cappy using the motion controls. You can throw up, and you can throw down, resulting in a sideways Cappy. And you can also throw sideways for a circular action. The same timings apply as for when Mario throws normally, just the resulting follow-up actions are a little different, such as Mario raising up from a downward throw, for example. And there's a reason these types of throws weren't chosen as the main throw. Apart from lacking the elegance of the chosen throw, the Mario Odyssey art book shows us some variations of other throw concepts. It seems that the devs wanted an action that looked similar to his iconic jumping pose, so that it was both fresh and familiar. It's fascinating just looking at how much work it took to decide on the final look of the throw. The book even says that the game was built around the animations. So, no pressure then. Also, you know how I said the actions are mostly the same depending on what you do? Yeah, they differ massively, such as if Cappy returns to Mario from behind, he'll simply pull the cap from the back with his other hand this time. And if you're diving through Cappy, then the cap will simply appear in Mario's head. No animation needed. Just the detail and variation in this game is insane. I mean, it's Nintendo, of course it is. Hey, if you want more videos like this where we study an action frame by frame, head on over to my Patreon where you can suggest ideas. Love you, bye.